Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Habib University's inauguration of the class of 2020. At this time, can the following members of Habib University's Academic Council please join me on stage? Dr. Shoaib Zaidi, Dean, School of Science and Engineering. Dr. Framji Minwala, Program Director, Communication Studies and Design. Dr. Hafiz Jamali, Interim Program Director, Social Development and Policy. Dr. Vakar Salim, Program Director, Computer Science. Dr. Shahid Sheikh, Program Director, Electrical Engineering. Dr. Anzar Khalik, Director, Integrated Sciences and Mathematics. Dr. Naman Naqvi, Director, Habib Liberal Core and Comparative Liberal Studies. Dr. Shah Jamal Alam, Director, Academic Systems and Registrar. Dr. Aaron Malvani, Director, Office of Academic Performance. Tatir Hamdani, Director, Office of Academic Operations and Office of Global Engagement. And Yasmin Bano, Director, Office of Admissions. Welcome, Class of 2020, and welcome parents of the Class of 2020. I would also like to welcome our President, Mr. Wasif Rizvi, our academic deans and directors, and our distinguished faculty. A warm welcome to the staff of the admissions team, recruitment team, student life team, and other staff members who have made this evening possible. At this time, I would like to invite Maisam Heather Ali from the class of 2019 for Tilawat of Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا واستغنى إنا إلى ربك الرجعى أرأيت الذي ينحى عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى لا إله إلا الله والله أكبر ولله الحمد صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Thank you, Mason. I want to take a moment to share with you a video we made that shares where we have come thus far. What was the life of the students these last 2 years?
I was actually frantically checking my email for like the 50th time because I was worried that they'd rejected me.
So I was really tensed about getting accepted here.
I was having my lunch and suddenly this doorbell rang and there was a TCS guy holding an envelope.
I was giving my exams at that point.
I was actually sleeping. I got a call from the team at admissions.
I was just frantically waiting for my email to get the admission email.
And when I finally got the email, I was really excited and I was happy because this was the university that I was coming to, and at that time it was the only one I had applied to. No backup.
I was like, oh my god, did I get in or not? What is this about? It said, you are in. So I was like, okay, great. So I told my mother and everyone.
I was really excited to know that actually I got accepted.
I messaged all of my friends and I sent pictures to all of them of my campus because our campus is amazing. There's no other campus like this one.
Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the president of Habib University, Mr. Wasif Rizvi.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, Habib Lions of 2020. Welcome. As you know, we call you trailblazers. Before I start, let's solve the greatest mystery of technology in the history of mankind, which is to switch off the mobile phone. Right? It happens all the time, right? You know, people try, they sort of stumble with it, but they cannot find the switch, which is usually on the other side, right? So I hope that to the students that Habib training will at least enable you to do that. Well, let's just start practicing today. Well, it's always an exhilarating feeling for me to be here. This is the third time we're doing it. Last year it was exactly this auditorium, and most of the distinguished academics who are sitting behind me were sitting right here, and we checked their neck muscles by putting the presentation behind but not in front of them. So you will see them rotating and trying to look at it. So in this conversation, there are a few things I want to cover. So I want to first tell you that how wonderfully special and lucky you are, and how you should be thankful. Then I'll tell you a bit about Habib University, and then what we expect from you. So on the lucky part, how many of you know this? Right? So Pakistan is ranked among the lowest countries in the world in higher education. Not just in education, especially in higher education. Many of you will be surprised that we are ranked lower in higher education compared to our primary education. Right? And this is very weird, right? The country of Pakistan's size and potential, why should it be dangling here? It's a long and elaborate analysis that one can present, and this is just a somber reminder to everyone in this room who has gotten admission in Habib University or in higher education, that how rare it is. This is some of you. What's not there, less than 1% of Pakistani youth from 18 to 25 gets to go to a university. So congratulations, you are among less than 1%. Right? Who do you have to thank? It's the people sitting around you. So may I request the trailblazers of 2020 to stand up and acknowledge their parents, please, or their guardians. We thank you as well. Let me take the liberty. On behalf of Habib University community, we are thankful to all of you. The parents, the guardians, the older siblings, the inspiration, rishtedar, whoever has enabled these wonderful young men and women to join less than 1% of the youth of this country. Right? That's how special and privileged it is. It's not a right. It's a very, very unique privilege. So what are you going to do? What are we going to do with this less than 1% number and a fraction of it who is here? Let me share with you that you have made one amazing choice, and I'll talk about the features of Habib University with you in a bit. First, let me talk about a bit about you. The class of 2020 is expected to be about 230 trailblazers. So this is a the largest class. It is exactly the double of our first class that we admitted in 2014. So the campus population and everybody, the admin, the security, the transport, the cafeteria, and especially the faculty How wonderful. Right. So there's lots of you are going to be here. Especially, who are the men here in the class of 2020? Raise your hands, the guys. Okay, great news for you. You're only 46%, and 54% of them are girls. Right. With this news getting out, there will be a lot more men applying next year, I know. Right. And you come from everywhere, all parts of Pakistan. We have, of course, a lot of Karachiites, people from Lahore, Hyderabad, Turbat, Badin, Sangar, all the way from Chitral, right? So there isn't a region in Pakistan, and there are some which are trickling in from Gilgit-Baltistan who are not represented here, and some from UAE and Saudi Arabia, right? So we are international. So once you are friends and there is a community, you can look for them for visas to Dubai or for Umrah. We are honored to give admission to the #1 position holder of Aga Khan University Examination Board in the whole country, right? So we have the board topper. We have lots of other geeks too, so don't feel for a second I have lots of A and A stars and you name it. In Karachi, Karachi itself is a very diverse place. So we have covered every single part of Karachi. So from Clifton to Johor to Nazimabad to Orangi to Korangi, we have representation from everywhere. Again, good news for the transport. Right. We have diverse aspirations as well. So we have people who want to do philanthropy, who are brilliant in debates, who want to explore their artistic side, their athletic side. We have, ever since we opened the swimming pool, a lot of the aspirational students are claiming an interest in that, in swimming. So we may be budding a new Michael Phelps here, who knows? So diversity all around. Diversity from their background, from the parts of the country that they are in, from the parts of the city, the kinds of things that they want to do. A great DNA, a great mix to cultivate a wonderful community. So what's going to happen to you, right? That's good news and maybe some information, maybe some inspiration. Habib University, this is just a sense of the possibilities, right? What's special about us? Let's start with our programs, right? So there isn't a university in the country, there are very few in the world, who have crafted such a careful program to keep the richness of the intellectual experience in mind. Why do we need a program like that? Can we play that video? This is something I was preparing this afternoon and I came across. What do you need? This is for class of 2020. Just a 10-second video, very elaborate, and what is required. What is interesting that it says that skills required in 2020, just in time when you are going to be ready to graduate. Habib University program addresses all of them and more. So engineers here, who is pursuing electrical engineering, you'll know a lot of philosophy by the time you get out, right? And the philosophers here, who is excited about arts, humanities, and social science, you'll know calculus. nobody can do without the other anymore, right? The era of narrow, utilitarian, what I call vacuous or impoverished education is gone. One of the reasons that Pakistan is dangling where it is dangling, because that's where we have invested most of our higher education in. We do a lot of just medical and just engineering and just an MBA, and you end up at 127 in the world in higher education. So you need to do a lot more. This is for parents who were confused at what are their children going to do. I hope you take some comfort that the world's biggest forum, which is looking at economies of the entire globe coming in the future, these are the skills that they are looking for. And these are the skills that we pride ourselves in. All of you will be required to solve problems, almost on every case basis. All of you will be required to work with your peers, with other students. Some of them are going to be unreasonable. Some of them won't be able to understand what you're saying. This is what is real life, right? You will be required to be empathetic. You will be required to be compassionate, especially for the ones जिनको आप अपनी बात नहीं समझा पा रहे. That's empathy and emotional intelligence. So that's what this program enables. All of it is grounded. Everybody will have to go through Habib Liberal Core. Habib Liberal Core is in comparison to the greatest universities in the world. They have created a core and a general program for all their students, which look very similar to the way we have evolved it. What's beautiful about our approach is that we haven't copied and pasted it from anywhere in the world. It has been done with deep thought regarding the contexts that are relevant to Pakistan and to your backgrounds and your reality. Who is going to do all of this psychedelic stuff? These guys, right? That's our, perhaps the most precious asset. I'm sorry, the older ones, these are just few pictures of the newer faculty, right? We have right now, currently, a faculty to student ratio of 8:1, right? Which is astounding. It's only going to grow to 12:1 at our peak operation, which is still 3 times better than our nearest competitor. See, this is a very complex technology. Our nearest competitor has 37:1 faculty to student ratio. And there's a reason. If we are aspiring to create this complex problem solving, critical thinking, creative work-oriented curriculum, it requires that kind of focus and that kind of engagement with world-class thinkers. We couldn't be luckier that so many, 59 and growing, that is the number of faculty that we have taken such deep interest and commitment to us that they have come, most of them from outside of Pakistan, even if they are Pakistanis. Many of them had jobs and positions in very good universities outside. And they have participated and helped us build this institution. So let's hear a round of applause for our wonderful faculty. You can see on the map there isn't a part of the world that we have left vacant. I think we just need to put a dot in Latin America and Africa, and then we're done. We have covered all continents, right? So the Aussies here, they would like to know that every Pakistani knows Australia deeply because of the cricket, right? So we know all the regions, and I'm sure that there is excitement about getting taught by people who are trained or are from Australia. What's the next part that makes us brilliant? Let me share a bit of information with you, which our founders, who are the Habib family, are not very keen many times to even tell people. Habib University has come into being as a result of the biggest ever grant that anyone, any private group or person ever gave to start an educational project in Pakistan. They have given us $50 million to start. That is 5 Arab Rupaye of their own philanthropic grant. But that was just the start, right? वो तो 5 अरब रुपए उन्होंने दिए, उससे हमने campus बनाया, we started our program. What is in perpetuity is this. needs blind admission. If you're good enough to get in, we take you in, and we find some money for you. From one source or the other, there are at least 6 or 7 possibilities that students can be helped. There isn't a university like that in the country. There are very few in the world that are this generous. This year, we are welcoming our first cohort of what we call HU tops, who are some here, the top students? Brilliant. HU tops is a specific program that is created for students with FSC background. Only requirement that we have that you have to be a top student, right? And this is all paid for. It's a completely funded program for a number of scholars who have come from that particular background. Apart from that, 94% of our student body are on some form of financial assistance. They either have won scholarship or they are given some sort of grant. So that is only 6% who would be paying full fee. 94% will get some sort of help. So that's our next wonderful feature. I can't really do justice to how wonderful this campus is, right? How many of you have seen it? How many of you agree that it is fantastic, right? Many. It's a fantastic campus, right? And it is indicative of what I shared in the first feature, which is our academic program, right? So it is a campus that is a combination of streets and courtyards. It's a campus that is designed to build communities. Our other good university in Lahore, one of their founders, Razak Daud Saab, he visited here and he actually said something, and I'm borrowing his quote. Okay, we at LUMS build buildings. You have built an environment, right? And it is an environment. This is the newest addition to that environment. That's at Michael Phelps swimming pool, right? I'm looking forward to many of you taking a dip there and see how far you go. But generally, right, so the campus has dedicated areas, what we call student center. It has a fantastic library. It has classrooms which are designed to do multiple things. So you can work in a group, you can listen to a lecture, you can sit in a seminar style, you can do whatever you want there. And there are multiple semi-formal, formal social spaces. So you can be in courtyard, you can sit in the back. By the way, just in time for your arrival, I don't know if it is true or not, we are going to open a very nice dhaba right at the back of the campus where you have this little garden. So you can actually sit on a charpai and enjoy some lassi or something, right? That's going to happen soon. Nobody does it better than us, the global opportunities. And why do I say that, right? Can you imagine the names here, right? Last year I just had picked, just put the picture of Stanford and the hall sort of ruptured in applause. Now there are actual Habib students there at Stanford. Can you believe there are 8 of them? We were among the... Just for, you know, in the spirit of rampant and blinding nationalism, with apologies to many of my faculty members, India only sent 2 students and we sent 8. So those are Ashoka students. But it's way more than that, right? This is a great acknowledgement of what we are all about. These universities don't open their doors for anyone. They sure don't open their doors for students from anywhere, right? So this is University of Michigan. That's Stanford. That's Pitzer College. You know, poor me has to go around and sign all of this, right? You must feel sorry for it. But it is so much more than just student exchange. We want their students, and they are so keen to come here and be part of this community. Some of the students that we sent to Stanford have done so well that their faculty are posting their assignments as how an intellectual or an academic problem needs to be approached. right? So they are standing shoulder to shoulder with the best in the world. Right? So this is again a demystification. In Pakistan, because of at 127 and relatively poor higher education, we have a lot of young men and women who just blindly aspire to leave, and whatever university they get in. Now here at Habib, you will have this opportunity to engage with the very best, right? No matter what is the desire for many people to leave, the chances for them to get into a Michigan or Stanford are not very high. But here at Habib, you do have that chance to actually engage with it and demystify that in your head. That if it is a purposeful, thoughtful educational experience, it is similar and comparable to any in the world. So there is no need to keep looking at us negatively. That's one of the key purposes. The other is for the faculty. So they are very keen, especially looking at the uniqueness of our program and our approach to invite our faculty to go there and participate in some of their courses and send many of their faculty here and be part of this great experience that we have at Habib. So the global opportunities is the next key feature. We are the only university, I think, who started, now I think few have copied, that has a place called the Student Center. Right? So we are deeply invested in creating a great student life and student experience. Of course, faculty are at the heart of it. They are your mentors, they are your advisors, they are your friends, informal sounding boards, and so on. But then we have exceptional staff that is there to support you, to guide you in the student life. We have invested hugely in ensuring that you can deal with this curriculum. We know that high school experience in Pakistan doesn't necessarily prepare you for this kind of complex and difficult higher education. So we have a writing center, we have a writing center staff, we have a center called Ehsas, which is educational help and academic support, that are there way longer than the university hours to help students, to arrange tutoring for them, peer tutoring, faculty tutorials, and hold your hand while you struggle with, and then you need to struggle with challenging syllabi and curriculum. And the purpose for all that is that the students really need to come together as a community. Whether you are in one batch or in multiple batches, there are going to be lots of possibilities for you through clubs, through this shared education experience, through working and helping each other to evolve as a community. As I shared in that small video from World Economic Forum, if you haven't really built this, internalized this sense of wanting to work with others, the chances for you to be very successful in your career exponentially drop. So that's our next great feature. What sits at the top of that? Why does everything that I have shared, our academic program, our faculty, our wonderful campus, our philosophy of creating a needs-blind admission, and our international response that we have received is because of this. Great universities in the world may be very, very diverse, but they share one thing in common. They're all based on a mission. And the mission can be a word, it could be a phrase, but very importantly, there needs to be academic and intellectual features that are reflective of that mission, right? So you have one of the best universities in the world is Harvard. It is founded on one word mission, which is called veritas, which in Latin means truth, right? Our mission is this, Qimatu kulli imri ma yuhsanu, right? Your worth is in your yuhsan, right? One of our faculty members translated it beautifully. This doesn't do justice to the translation. Your worth is in your thoughtful self-cultivation. Everyone at Habib is invested in cultivating themselves thoughtfully. Discovering those new depths within you are going to make you capable of engaging with everyone who is around you, and capable of engaging with you whatever you're discovering as your craft, as your passion, as your academic pursuit. It is such a beautiful phrase that it can't be translated in English properly, because it emanates from this typical richness of Arabic, from husn, ahsan, hasan, ahsan. It is beautiful, it's excellence, it's service, it's wanting to do good, it needs to come from your heart. That's why we have this: excellence, passion, respect, beauty, and service. This mission made us confident and allowed us to approach these wonderful partners like Stanford or University of Michigan or Carnegie Mellon and so on, to share with them that we are not blindly copying something that we have seen in the Western world. As a matter of fact, we are grounding ourselves in a tradition that is dear to us, and it will define the meaning of higher education pursuit for us, and it will make us comparable and compatible to any in the world. So that's what makes us stand apart. But yet, our academic programs, our faculty, our admission philosophy, our great campus environment for students, and our international network, and even our mission is not what makes Habib University Habib University, right? So what makes Habib University Habib University? You. It's you. You are the reason we have set this beautiful stage. Just remember that you will always be standing on what co-founders, which was our first class, and let me thank them, what they created, right? They came in an incomplete campus and in a completely unknown university. So they are fantastic, courageous. They have as much to do with this university as any one of us in the administration or faculty. So thank you, co-founders. Then it's the pioneers, the ones who followed them, right? Granted, the word was out that we have more women than men, but nevertheless, pioneers have been wonderful. Their work ethic, their diligence, the way they accepted the curriculum, the way they realized that it is going to be a tough and tall order, we are very, very thankful to the pioneers. And then it's you. I haven't placed any title here. We call you trailblazers, but you have to earn it. You have to earn it with your ingenuity, with your devotion, with your dedication, with your commitment, with your compassion. In short, you have to earn it by demonstrating that you're worthy of being part of YOSM. Thank you.
Thank you, President Rizvi. Next, I would like to invite Aarti Leelaram from the class of 2018 to share her HU experience.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aarti Leelaram, and I'm currently majoring in Social Development and Policy at Habib University. As a co-founder, I'm representing the batch of 2018 here tonight. I feel honored to stand in front of you this evening to welcome you all here this evening at the inaugural event and share you about my story and experience at Habib so far. Dear parents, congratulations to you and your children to have gone through this rigorous process of admissions and to finally achieve this long-awaited entry. You all are sitting here with your children with bright smiles and probably nervous tummies to start this new journey with us. Habib offers this world-class infrastructure, renowned and experienced faculty, advanced high-tech system, diverse metacurricular, and beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces. But that's not all where Habib's going to give to your children. In my 2 years here, I have found something much greater. The HU experience. Let me take a moment here and go back in time when I came here for the first time. If I compare myself to who am I now, me and my parents have certainly seen the transformation in my personality. Habib helped me to take a moment of my life and to make it realize that I observe, think, and reflect, and then make sense out of things around me. In this race, competition, and buzz of the city, we often tend to forget that we need space for self-reflection and space for growing confident in ourselves. I couldn't realize how important that could be for an individual. This changed my approach to look at things, others' perspective, and our preconceived notions. This also taught me how important it is to unlearn and then relearn those notions. Similarly, the courses at Habib made me more sensitive towards others' perspective, encouraged acceptance, deconstructed ideas, events, and notions, and made me understand that it is very important to look from a different viewpoint. This journey has also made me realize that sometimes we students go too hard on ourselves, and we assume that we're working towards the betterment of our future. But somewhere or the other, we're still stuck in our own notions and apprehensions. And as a result, we're still focusing on the present. Here at Habib, I was made sure as a student that I have the capability and the sight to look beyond my own perspective and can see a bigger picture and then make it realize that I'm learning something much greater. Honestly, we might not even realize it in the process, but this is exactly how students work in the real world. This is not how things are going to be when we are out there and open. And this is how Habib made me realize and gave me a full structure in mind that how things are going to be in real life and how challenging it's going to be. But at the same time, it also increased my self-esteem and made me understand that how important it is as a real-life challenge. What I really admire at Habib is the culture of acceptance and appreciation. I and the other students have been privileged to play a part in developing this culture. The culture that is built on the basis of tolerance, lifelong learning, freedom of speech, analytical thinking, and challenging notions, and mainly to stand for your own questions. Like every batch has played its part, I welcome you all today to be a part of this culture in our growing community. We hope to continue building this culture jointly with the help of students, staff, and faculty, and work towards a greater and better vision, which will be shared vision. I would like to thank you all at the end, and I'm sure your children want to do that too. We're thankful for supporting and encouraging your children in this journey. We realize that how hard it is sometimes to just be by their side and take care of our needs. So thank you for being by our side in this extensive process and in this sensitive transition. As a co-founder, I would like to ensure you all that your children are not stepping into just an institution, but rather into a community, into a family. For me, it's a home away from home. And remember that your journey doesn't end here. You're still going to take baby steps with us. Welcome to Habib University.
Thank you, Aarti. Next, I would like to invite Syed Mohammad Haider Raza Rizvi from the class of 2019 to share his experience.
Dear parents, guardians, honorable faculty, staff, our president, and fellow students, Adab, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Haider Rizvi and I'm from the class of 2019. हमें pioneers भी कहा जाता है. आज की शाम मुझे ये मौका मिला है कि मैं आपके सामने हबीब यूनिवर्सिटी में गुजारे गए अपने एक साल के कुछ experiences शेयर करूं and also how those experiences helped me grow as a person. मगर बात शुरू करने से पहले मेरा ख्याल है हमें इस बात का एहसास होना चाहिए कि एजुकेशन हमारा राइट है, मगर किसी अच्छी यूनिवर्सिटी में बेहतरीन फैकल्टी के साथ एजुकेशन हमारा राइट नहीं, एक प्रिविलेज है. A privilege that we have because of our parents, their struggles and their sacrifices, and so we should always be grateful to them. हबीब यूनिवर्सिटी कनेक्ट्स विद एवरी इंडिविजुअल इन अ डिफरेंट वे, और मेरा ख्याल है हर शख्स का हर जगह के मुतालिक तजर्बा मुख्तलिफ होता है, और हबीब उन चंद इंस्टीट्यूट्स में से है जो इस बात को अप्रिशिएट करती है, जहाँ पे अपनी राय का इजहार गलत नहीं समझा जाता बल्कि उसे इंकरेज किया जाता है। बहुत से लोगों के लिए ये एक लाइफ ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग एक्सपीरियंस रहा, माई सेल्फ इंक्लूडेड, and this was an experience which made me more aware of my surroundings, and I started noticing things that I would usually ignore, and that has made a lot of difference. मेरे ख्याल से इस एक्सपीरियंस की वजह से मेरे अंदर इतनी हिम्मत तो कम से कम ज़रूर आई है कि मैं उन लोगों से भी बात करूं जिनसे पहले बात करते हुए मैं झिझकता था, घबराता था या हिचकिचाता था किसी भी वजह से, और ऐसे नए तजर्बे करने का भी मेरे अंदर शौक़ पैदा हुआ जिनके बारे में मैंने कभी सोचा भी नहीं होगा। But I think that is the point, to step out of your comfort zone and to do things that you've never even thought of doing before. Personally, मैं कभी Socrates के बारे में भी नहीं पढ़ता if it weren't for the liberal core. The core is a set of courses that every student here takes regardless of their major. And the core is enlightening, for want of a better word. Core के अलावा there are different courses that are also offered as electives. For example, philosophy in the Anthropocene. अलमिया ये है कि पाकिस्तान में शायद ही ये कहीं पढ़ाया जाता हो, हालांकि इसके हमारे करंट एज के साथ काफ़ी गहरे ताल्लुकात हैं। The teachers we have been very friendly and kind in guiding us during our struggles, and they've been very helpful. And yes, there are struggles. Quoting Bob Marley, if it's easy, it isn't worth it. And if it's worth it, it won't be easy. मैं अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस की वजह से काफ़ी हद तक सोशली एक्टिव हुआ और पॉलिटिकली अवेयर हुआ। डिफरेंट कोर्सेज की वजह से, फॉर एग्जांपल एनर्जी, मैं काफ़ी हद तक एनवायरमेंटली कॉन्शियस भी हुआ, बिकॉज इट डील्स विद आर एनर्जी कंजम्पशन एंड द इम्पैक्ट दैट इट हैज़ हैड ऑन आर एनवायरमेंट। डिफरेंट कल्चर्स को समझने का मौका मिला, मिसकंसेप्शन जो थी वो ख़त्म हुई, और लोगों की राय का एहतराम करना सीखा, ख़ास तौर पे दोज ओपिनियंस दैट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम माई ओन। मुझे चीज़ों को एक्सप्लोर करने का मौका मिला, समझने का मौका मिला। इट हेल्प मी टू एक्सप्लोर एंड अंडरस्टैंड द चैलेंजेस दैट वी फेस एवरी डे, चैलेंजेस ऑन अ ग्लोबल स्केल। और अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि एवर सिंस आई जॉइंड हबीब आई फील लाइक अ डिफरेंट पर्सन एंड दैट माई प्रेजेंट इज बेटर देन माई पास्ट, तो ये गलत नहीं होगा। एंड आई थिंक दैट इज मेनली बिकॉज ऑफ द लिबरल कोर एंड द फिलोसफी ऑफ योसिन विच इज़ अबाउट थॉटफुल सेल्फ कल्टिवेशन। और मुझे यकीन है कि अपने हबीब में गुजारे गए वक्त के बाद आई विल बी एबल टू वर्क फॉर एन इवन बेटर फ्यूचर, नॉट जस्ट फॉर माई सेल्फ बट फॉर द सोसाइटी एज अ होल। थैंक यू। खुश आमदीद।
Thank you, Heather. Parents and family members, thank you for supporting your children throughout their educational journey. We firmly believe that parents are as crucial a part of the community as students and faculty at Habib University. A parent information session has been scheduled for this Saturday, where various offices will be making presentations and answering any questions that you might have. That information will be distributed to your student tomorrow morning. Class of 2020, tomorrow morning, you will join us right here in this room at 8:30 a.m. for registration and a week full of activities. Tomorrow, you will get some really important information to help you get started on this journey. Thank you for your attendance this evening, and please join our faculty, directors, deans, and our president downstairs for some high tea. Thank you for coming.